Oh my life, I'm back. It's Monday, it's the day after that snowfall. Those of you who watched Frey's video will have seen what an absolute trooper she was, walking all the way over to the farm in the morning through all that snow, and she got some lovely footage for everybody. So today's video is just a few clips from today, Monday. It's all been about cleaning and tidying up after the snow, getting the haylage sorted for everybody. We've had a little bit of a shuffle round of what we're doing for the boys. Nero and Iceman had little adventures last night, which you'll see a little bit later on. So yeah, enjoy the video, and I believe we're back to ice and freezing temperatures from tomorrow. So it's going to look very pretty, but it's going to make life a little more challenging than usual. You can see it looks really pretty with the snow still up on the mountains there. There's Floppy Doo and Annie. You'll notice that Annie hasn't got her rug on. I actually took it off this morning because she was feeling rather itchy. So I thought she could have a good old scratch. Just get a bit of fresh air to her skin. So she's had a roll. She's pointing at the places where she's itchy because she'd like me to go in there and itch them all. But I've got to finish the big clean-up. There's Hoitsy Boitsy and Niki News. Hoitzer was sharing with Nika earlier, but he's chosen to monopolise the haylage now. I'm very hopeful that Mr. Milby will be able to come this week and take another look at her foot. She got a fresh bandage on yesterday because it got very, very soggy in the snow. Oh, Noodles, you going to sleep, darling? Oh, bless her. Are you tired? I think she is. That's okay. Hoitsy will stop eating in a bit, and then she'll stop sleeping, and they'll have a swap over. Hoitzer will go for a sleep, and Niki News will come for a munch. And then we've got Smurf and Mini Smurf, as Frey calls them. Little Princecal, who's much happier up at the yard. And little Jubbers, tucking into the hay hole, taking advantage while Hidda and Annie aren't round here. Hey, Princecal. Jodie, Jim now and Moss have come down to the boys' turnout to get them all cleaned up, and we've been met with utter carnage. So Iceman no longer has his rug on, and his rug is in a heap on the floor over there. The straps look like they're in place, don't they?
Just the front.
Is it? Has he broken the clip off?
Is it Uber? No, it's Nero.
No, Nero.
So maybe they were chewing on each other's clips.
They probably were. It'll have to go to Lisa's laundry without Elisa. There's Angel Eyes, and here's Nero in his dishevelled rug as well. So he's obviously been pulling on the front clips. Oh well, we'll get them all sorted and get it cleaned up in here. And probably Iceman can borrow Teddy Bear's rug. Iceman's come up into Bessie's barn under the solarium because he probably got a little bit chilly without having his rug on. So he's having a nice warm up in there while we finish cleaning and tidying. boys are a little wary because I've just bought into their turnout the blue ring feeder from the girls area, because it's proving incredibly time consuming and labour intensive to bring down 2 lots of haylage to them every day. So what we're planning to do is get a bale and push it into this one shelter, and then, as Jodie quite rightly said, if we left it in there, the chances are that Nero would be climbing on it and it would get scattered everywhere. So we're going to put the blue ring feed around it. You know, we could put one of the hay bells like the girls have got out here, but there's still going to be an awful lot of wastage if we do that. So we have the little one here that we've used, but the whole idea is that we can keep the haylage inside and that they can get in the shelter to eat. So by putting one in the corner here, it's not going to take up the whole area. They'll still be able to get in there. And of course, they've still got the other shelter that they've got the hay bar in that they'll be able to use as well. Because a large part of me wants to let them out in the field, because they are much healthier if they can move around and keep active. But because it's quite poached now, what will happen over the next couple of days when it freezes is all these lumps and bumps will go solid, and then we're more at risk of Nero having problems with his hock and any of the others injuring themselves as well, which is what I said last winter, and it's why one of the reasons why we wanted to build this area, and that's still the risk with the girls. But there's an awful lot that we need to think about planning the girls area, which I will bring more of an idea of what we have in mind once we've met with Tony, hopefully within the next week, to talk about the different options and what we can actually do with it, obviously being in the national parks as this bit is. So because a field shelter like this would be too small for the girls, they wouldn't all get in there, it's whether we go for a bigger steel framed area with a concrete base. But as soon as we put a concrete base down, then we're into the whole realms of planning permission. But there are certain things that we can do under permitted development, but it's just balancing up all the pros and cons, and it's just going to take a little bit of time to decide what's the right thing to do. But certainly this area, okay, they get a little bit bored in here, but it's definitely far better for them to be on a nice level surface and not trudging through all that soggy wet mud, or frozen mud as it's going to be in the next couple of days. We've managed to get the bale inside, which is a huge bonus because I wasn't looking forward to pushing it. It's a little bit damp. I did take one off the top so that it wasn't quite so bad, but it's not mouldy, so that's good. He was chewing on Arthur, and now he's come round to try and chew on all the wrapping of the bale. Of course. Nero, are you going to be first in? No, you want to chew on the tractor first? Go on, Nero, you go in and investigate the new bale in the corner. What do we think? This is perfect. So we've pushed it right into the corner so that they can still get around it. But this is going to save an awful lot of time and lugging of haylage backwards and forwards. Yes, it's going to create a big mess, but, you know, we'll just clean it up as and when. Are you next in, Uber? So that's good. I think we can fit 2 or even 3 of them in at a time. Hannes, I suspect that you're going to have to go to the other shelter because they will be a bit mean to you. Yeah, wise move. Ted looking very cute there. He's like, Mum, I want to come out.
Yeah, this is boring.
It's the ears, isn't it?
Yeah, the one ear up, the one ear down. The mouse is just sat in there so quietly.
Yeah. They can't jump out of that, can they?
Yeah, they didn't actually jump out of the little trailer, which was really good.
Yeah. Was that the first time they'd come down in the trailer?
Yeah, yeah. Really, really good.
Oh, it's so pretty with that backdrop over there, isn't it? Little Ted. Now, as labour intensive as it is to keep everywhere as tidy and cleared as possible, and it does look really disgusting for all the girls out here, and undoubtedly they are going to be better off with a nice level turnout over winter. A lot of people obviously at this time of year have their horses inside in a stable, and you know, that's fine, and we could look at doing that with all of these, but for me the downside of that is that you're more likely to have issues with their stomachs and all sorts of gastric problems, because horses need to be moving around, and especially Friesians, you know, whether it's for their joints, their mobility, or whether it's for their internal digestive system. It's not healthy for them to be just stood in a stable in a small space, not moving around. So I would far rather have extra work with keeping them clean and tidy, you know, bringing them in from the field, bringing haylage down, clearing up after them, than risk more problems with their health. But all of that said, we would like to get the girls a nice area down here. And although we haven't got all the plans set in place, what I would like to do is launch the start of the campaign for this year's work, just so that we've got those funds coming in, and we can split it over a period of months, which I know would work better for a lot of you. And then we can look at getting started on this area sooner rather than later when the weather permits. And he's gone to bed. Hida's munching over there at the hay bar. Not quite sure why you haven't laid in the sunshine. before the sun goes down completely and puts everything into shade. One of the last jobs, other than tucking everyone up for the night and making sure everyone's got food and we're tidied, is to get some of the grit and spread it around the yard so that we don't come out tomorrow to a slippery ice rink again. All gritted, and Hidda's standing in his favourite place on guard of the barn. Oh, little floppy do. Look at your greys. Can you believe you turned 23 this year? This young man, Hoitsy Poitsy, is also turning 23 this year. And don't forget, if you've got your calendar, you'll know, little Niki Noodles, it's her birthday on the 13th. She turns 15 this year. And we've got those fabulous raffles running at the moment for the Nika coloured burgundy quilt and that lovely scarf made by Diane and Wendy, our quilting queen and our felting queen. So get those entries in and we'll do a live raffle draw on the 15th of January.
I wake up in the morning with a smile on my face, feeling thankful for the love and the happiness we chase. Sun is shining brightly, sky so blue and clear. With every breath I take, I'm grateful you are near. So